Just a jalap sada satu si dulu dah. Jika dicala, jabe dulu tong satu cibi dulu. Topot dong lepas.
So we can do the opening prayers on page 5 of the prayer book, twice in English and once in Tibetan. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings.
Sanje Judan Soje Jonam La Achan Jo Pardon Dane Jo Sun Chen Dai Ge Jen Soi Jin Bi Jen Do La Ben Je San Jen Do Bai Shu.
May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Ma Nam Ga Dai Nyam Be Sam Chen Tam Je De Wa Dai De Ve Ju Dan Den Bai Ju Je Dong Ara Dai Dong Ara Ge Ju Dan Te Wa Ju Je Dong Arai Me Be De Wa Dong Men De Wa chui je nye re cha dai ni dai de dong nyong la ne bar chui je.
Page 16. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma, of the two vehicles and their combination, according to the dispositions and mental capacities of sentient beings.
Samje namje samba tong lo ye che dai che da wa a che chon tu mo tu ga ye chu je ko lo bo de so. Savela me javla gu chan tse kanda chochor dong gen ji ten na de ke long mara chor wa kong so da ten de dong be chu jen chor an be ba sa mara do wa tam jen de ye shen na mo ya la ye ge dang le dang de ji ge zhong da da mi ye ge na lo wa gen je da ge che zang ba tam ji ge de da ge ju den do. Good afternoon. So now we look at the book, Ubuntu teaching book, on page 6. 당니 헤르가 네베 꾸에나서 자솜 콜로 해 세베 짠답 소소 우스 지워 한가본 림바 옴 거보 닌가 홍보 데 아머보 알레도 모메바 콜로 솜 예게 세행 한레가치 준 하비 예게 좀 라르소데 네솜 예게 좀지 예게 레장 트마메비 워젠 투네 데와 쳔보냠 스뇽 마초스.
So the text says, inside my own body, as I abide in the form of Heruka, clearly appear the 3 channels and 4 chakras. At the center of the radial branching of each chakra are, at the crown, a white hung, at the throat, a white om, at the heart, blue hung, and at the navel, red ah. From the ah, the fire of Tumo blazes and burns away the syllables of the 3 chakras. From the hang, a stream of white element then descends and restores the 3 syllables once again. Then from the 3 syllables, stainless light rays stream forth, becoming the experience of great bliss.
단데라 도모 곰탕 다 가서고 두두인다 오지 세브르다 두두 제나리 다 자와 니나 창데고 요레 텐두 기탕 디나라 다죠 조한 로 조한치 테네 기탕단 디나라 림초 코라나라 기탕 한 테타 공고 카마로 원도지 용금도 이나야다 도모 Koran kenangla tine hang automatis ngol wujuk lo de wando ji yoris te chi ti yu ina di nangla dem jo koran nangla te hang tengo wujuk lo yoris timendo.
And so here what we're visualizing is kind of what is then depicted in the graphic image. So the 3 channels and each of the chakras, and then at the crown there is a white hung. So in the Chakrasamvara text, it doesn't mention that the hung is inverted, but typically speaking, it is for this type of practice, it is inverted, meaning it's upside down, the hung at the crown.
Tiga na yita wo la ta na jetang di na arang ti to ina ya ta namju to mo je gombe ka la a cheka se ya ta na mu ko pa ri jo dal ji do a cheka ro la go I khana ta a cheke gang la me sin do di si wa do te tin do.
And you can see at the bottom there is like a triangular shape in the image. So what that is called is the ashe in Tibetan, which is literally means like the half an ah. And so you can see how it looks like half of the ah upside down, the part of the ah. And so that is the point from which the fire blazes, the tumo fire ignites from that point there.
Wada tiyendu ta jitang kharchi guri labina tine tumo gombe kawla ta kharchang jikpa jikshangde ti nga tsu te nabe kawla tine rikpa jik tegi yorwa wada tiyendu ta di nangla rikpa teya te me ndawo jik me te yang pe ta ngoni chinda ti ko nga tsu rimu nangla lela wo yor marwa ma to ngoni china tanda di achi te tine tsa ume nangla yores achi te mer ninja.
And so the here, even though it doesn't quite appear that way because it's hard to make it so small, but the when you meditate on the tumo, your focus, your awareness is really settled there on the ah. So the very like a very focused concentration on the half ah, but mainly the flame. And that is actually inside of the central channel.
Oda tiyendu tiyang tine da pe karse gore tiri mendo da chung siyorwa da tingwani kasi jik mikpa semna kasi chungna ya yosaris pe chung yinba tine me tsawo yinba oda tini pe jik kandro da awa tini jik gombu yosaris.
And so we visualize this as a very, very tiny flame, and your concentration is completely focused, completely settled on this. And as small as you can, however small you can make that flame, and with the ache, the better. So it's like very, very tiny, and the concentration, the awareness is just settled there in concentration on the flame.
Oda tiyendu da terang da mikpa di gres te mikpa jik di umbi kabla da jatang da di na dim cho da tumo da wina ko da tumo da tel mikpa di go gres da tel mikpa di ne tine da mendo zamba ti ki mikpa di ne tamayang tine ko jik churwa korang tine me korang yi yowa tadung tine di ne tine ti ki jen chi ne jatang da ko nga su me yungsa de dewa ne chabi yore tine ne tine 집에 수포라 갈서지 대화 말해서 돼. 두 이제 솔로 나오지. 들어와. 배낭가도 참모이나 남고요래. 되는 리트 솔로 나오요래. 다 근데 강나 그 준종 되나? 되네. 지 두 그랑 이해돼. 대화를이야. 딱 오토매틱리 갈서거래. 지 대화를 구요로와. 대화당 대가 나기 그 수복 에너지로 오지려나? tene supo be lolo nabu yungu yo sarwa tindu jatang
And so in the practice of Chakrasamvara, then we have this period where we're meditating on the tumo as part of the practice, part of the sadhana. And so we can allow for some time to focus on the generation of tumo in that section. So allowing the mind to rest on the flame, really single pointed and focus, and just resting there until there's kind of some feeling that arises at that point, 4 finger widths below the navel. So it's like very relaxed, and then there's some, you should be very relaxed in the meditation, so not focusing with too much tightness. And then there's some warmth that starts to be generated, and whatever, if like there is cold, if you're meditating in a cold place, then you no longer feel cold, but mainly the warmth has the quality of bliss. So it's not actually so much heat as it is bliss. And that bliss just, it arises automatically. And then together with this, there's a lot of energy that is generated then in the body.
oda tindu jatang ngazo de labdo senji naru churu zidu jatang da di ngazo de tomorrow gomne de tong tingin ji jene ji da hin rap de mi lang dong ji de yang cha chen bo tong to ya tong de tis le la yo le la do chi lu le de tong ji yong be ka la sem te be ne ya le la yo le sin cha ta hin ne na ga na do ne hin ne ya da ji de sim me to la so ya sha ne ti ga la nung gu yo le ti na ya de ne da dan dan de ji to mo de be za chen bo de ti ga na ko lu sem ni le be ji ka sa go le de wan ro ju de sem ne ya la de ne be peng yo sa wa.
And so this is a very profound method in the 6 yogas of Naropa that falls into the category of the completion stage with characteristics. And so the idea is that by practicing Tumo, then we generate the meditative absorption that is the union of bliss and emptiness. And the purpose of this is actually to facilitate or assist in the realization of Mahamudra. So with this skillful method for generating the meditative absorption, bliss, and emptiness, then that increases the ability to abide in Mahamudra. So we also have, and the main key is the stable abiding of the mind. So when the mind is able to abide single-pointedly over a period with, on the flame, then this is what enables that or facilitates that. Otherwise, we have also, it's akin to the practices of shamatha in a way. With shamatha, you have the arising of the experiences of bliss, clarity, and non-thought. But tumo is much more powerful. It's like very profound, and de lucem nika kare.
Ne lu sem ya la te ne ko chi de wo yong gro wa sem de tong ji yong be ka la ne chi cha je chi mo ngo tong ya la ne le la yu sa wa.
And so it also has this, so both the mind and the body, experience bliss, and it becomes easier then to rest in Mahamudra.
Tini tan di nang tanda da yige tizo ya yige tizo tem do yang rawo da me kisi yang rawo tini yungi do te goya yo samari da te zo karsa magi lako tangbo tenpa top gu yo res. Tini tan de jitanga zo jik mbanza zi da ko je rawo jik da yon ten rawo jiri ma to ki mikse ke tanda tila ya ji yige si yang rawo jine tini yang ko focus chi ma to ba nam to ma rawo yang rawo tini yungi yo sa res.
Wait, yabo je sena. Oh, okay, hakosong dina me yardro.
당보 공을 가서 되네 야데 이게 돼서 쓰야다 항ले 마데 휴야다 더 삼노 당비 되네 하고 남톡 마모 여러와 셈제 네톡 말와 되네 셈 약보 지 네톡이나 데 몽발은 데비스 담 반자지 되네 디나래 야항 쉐 되네 쉐네 되네 대화 효체를 지야로 되네 여드네 잔답 소소소소로 야 태양 잔답 소소소 되네 효체를 첸도야 다 단단 거죠 가이히스야지도 가와히스나리 다데.
So actually, the main thing to focus on is just that, just resting the mind single-pointed focus on the flame. Because there are the further stages, of like even here and in general with the practice of tumo, where the tumo blazes and like moves to different centers of the body, or here, that it burns away the syllables, the other three syllables, and then there's the dripping of the hang that then restores them. And then in the experience of the dripping, then one gives rise to the experience of the four joys. But before, it's much better to just focus on the flame and generate some warmth, generate some heat. Otherwise, what happens is the mind is like going from this to that, and it never really ends up developing any stability. So it's better to really develop some stability with the flame, and then as that improves over time, that stability increases, then you can move on to the other visualizations.
I think that's it. So you already depend on this Kabbalah thing?
Yeah. You did. You mean with the 5 meats and the 5?
Yeah. So now maybe give to people the decision. 다 지탕 테레시나 다 지탕가 저 지금 레 탕보 바라 근데 단기 휴와 나기리 다 니마지 그 당지 핵이 담라티네 당야리 마토비 다 단당원이 진지 샤당 근데 디 늦은가서 뭐 많이 봐 뭐네 지기 티게 상원트 지 매네 야고요사리 상원 매 샤도 마토다 휴지 티베 포커스 지고 사마리 사무도 티 샤가도 늦은가 카리마
So here, it's written like what each of the five meats and the five nectars are. But the main thing when we do, for instance, the visualization or when we actually do the blessing of the nectar, the main thing is just the seed syllables. Like you don't have to get too focused on like what's what. Just kind of having an idea of, like the seed syllables appearing in the Kapala and then like the sort of melting and becoming primordial wisdom nectar.
So maybe we can look at the page 60 in the Chakrasamvara text. That labdwa om kenda roy hong pi seyaji.
So then the first thing we have is Om Kanda Rohe Hong Hong Pe.
Da kenda roy hong pi seya da jetang da nan kando hiwa ka dum cho nan kando hi ki nan tum che ma ro wa. Wa ta tin da ti ki lek chawa chinye di kenda roy ro wa kenda roy hong pi. Da ti labdu tine 다 단기 딱 가서 좀 된데 생치 집에 다 담보 공도 열어봐. 근데 다 랑케스 인키 님이 다다마 랑다 냥카네 홍네 발레다 오저티 투두 다 랑탄기 dem 좀 공대와 대리치 캔다로 해 정보를 캔다로 홍피 있어야지.
So the Kenda Rohe Hong Hong Pe, so that's referring to in Chakrasamvara, we have the 4 dakinis, and one of them is Kenda Rohe, or Dumchema, and she is the one who does the activity. So that is so the idea is when you're visualizing yourself in the form of Chakrasamvara, and then you can visualize that from your heart center, like a hung syllable emanates, the kadok marpo rebe. A red hung syllable together, and then streams from this stream light rays, and there arises Kandarohe, the Dakini Kandarohe, who then cleanses the offering.
다 디디기 나온다 지금 저
Or the
the
Kapala, the inner offering.
디날 게 당다 지한도 같이 온도 좀 치료 동반도 오지.
So she does fulfills the activity of cleansing or purifying, and then also like scattering or clearing away like obstructing forces and like taints and defilements.
다 디휴블 오마 소바와 휴도 서버더 소바와 휴다 하스.
And then next we have the Swabhava mantra.
대치다 디강라트네 다 동뱅강레 서와. 다 동뱅강 얌지르. 드네
So then from within the state of emptiness, there arises the syllable yam.
다 제탕가서 동바지리 다 제탕 동바지리 다 뒤에서 뭐 소바와 휴다 서버더 뭐 소바와 휴다 시리다 가장 걔는 뭐 치기다 적chen 키카세 그라운드를 라고 요나다 다 강다지 고시 토마티강 당가 좀 트위데와 더 많이 바지 다 디강 봐 샤고여서 동바니강 샤고나 더 샤고여서 됐어.
And so it's sort of like what Ken Rinpoche was saying, during the Dzogchen teachings, as, emptiness being sort of the fundamental ground of all phenomena. So from within that state of emptiness, then the magical kind of manifestations arise. The appearances appear out of the state of emptiness.
다 디나는 다 같이 공부를 럽두더니 이게 얌 원보시 총브레스. 얌.
And so then, so from the state of emptiness, then we have the syllable yam, which appears.
이게 토르시 총스. 대우도 메르지 슈웨스.
The yam, oh, dampo yam lung, rawa, tini ram.
얌로 뭐 얌.
And so then the yam transforms into wind. The tini di dagam rawa.
우리다들 니라고디가.
Okay.
대 얌디 원보시 토르지 중도다 대우도 소 슈레스. 대우도 슈네 다 가르치나 간단가 저디 롱크 진콜 스다 맞은 다감라고도 단들이도 어디 봐 원보지도 나와 체반도 근데 제가 저 라벤 협조한다고 지글더니 차버레스 롱크 진콜.
And so we have then, so from then that syllable yam melts into light and then arises as the mandala of wind, becoming the shape of like a half moon, with the cut part of the moon or the straight half facing us. So that appears in this image here as the blue half moon at the bottom, and you see the syllable yam there. And so that represents, that's the mandala of wind. So it represents wind, the element of wind.
어디가 나기더니 데이터 나감 디가한테는 얌지 요레스.
And then on that half moon is the syllable yam.
데이터 디이온이스 송다 디이온이스 때도와 네 같이한다고 그러죠. 다들 오늘 지나 네 여러분들이 라인하면 가면 일단 제좀 봐라고도 있는데 네 그냥 탈창으로 좀도 다 되고 뭐 오늘 진 제좀 요소를 정도.
Say soon?
탈창한다고 아직.
Oh yeah. So there he thinks it's kind of a funny depiction of the then what arises on the corners of each of the corners of the half moon. They're like flags or banners that kind of feed the wind or cause the wind to stir. But he said that these are kind of interesting depictions. Usually they're more like triangles. They're like little flaps with triangles.
Like Nepal flag, this count 3 pounds, I guess. 이내면 다 teaching 됐으네. 다 제제 좀 봐. 요 힘비스다. 뒤에 뒤에 땡도 ramik marboji chungsta tene topja ke jajilta ram marboji chungbares.
And then on top of that, then there arises a red ram syllable.
Ram.
Right, ram.
Te da ram ma hyone. Tene meek jinkor marbo tene chuzomba chungbares. Te chuzomba de yang zemo ran la temba. Ti ji tela tene yiga ram yowaji res.
And then that ram syllable melts into light and then it takes the shape or becomes the mandala of fire, which is in the shape of a triangle with the point of the triangle facing us. And then it becomes marked with the syllable ram.
대양테네 소르좀도 다 소르좀도 꾸종도 송지라 테네 뭐 아홍 중사.
And then in each of the corners of the triangle are the syllables om, ah, hung.
Tene om, ah, hung de, tene wood so hugi gabla, tene etanga so de, the toba jimido, toba de monijina.
Tupa yore in a young lip.
Okay, let the altar toba zom yores.
Oh, tupa dilla tuba yomare lasso. Yeah.
Toba zom chungres, tanga so tokam yorba.
So then the three corners, these three syllables Oma Hung transform into skulls. They into three skulls. So that becomes like the tripod. And here we don't have the skulls, but you can think that they are there in the corners.
That's interesting.
So also in the text, the pechanang la chi mendo la gyuve. De tu
lame
pasum.
lame.
Oh, okay.
Rumonang tong ma do la, rumonang tong go samar ba.
Vale, re tongi umare.
Tiende ta ti ta ti ki deng de tene yege aji chongbres.
And so then on top of that, then there appears the syllable ah.
Tene yege a karbo te yang wu so hyone.
A white ah.
Tene ta karcha worsanda ni toba tong de yak toba na chabres.
And then that white melts into light and becomes like the main kapala, which is the kapala we see. That's it looks like a circle because it's two-dimensional, but it's a kapala that's like resting on the tripod.
Te yang tene pe me se ki ja chenbo yimba. Tene ta pe cheme dewa tsongbe ki tene nang marbo. Tene tomban tsongya ki tene chil karbo ta chikar nang marwa. Detong tene da dewa tang tomba yerman jiwi kitang zo toba kitang toba na wina. Toba tumbu mambo yowa, tumbu sumba yowa, tumbu jikpa yowa ndo doa ina ta ndela tumbu jikpa zidi ta kama kebo ndo tene mewa.
And so this kapala is extremely vast. It's very spacious and vast. And it is on the outside, it is white, representing the nature of emptiness. Inside, it is red. And it is in like one part, denda di dumbu chik.
Tumbu jikpa.
So it's just like one part instead of sometimes you see like skulls and are in three parts, but this is like in one part. And it represents the indivisibility of bliss and emptiness, that single point part.
Da tindi tindi ji chune da yang shi ja che wa ti nang da yi ti xia jo de ro ne lo go mu do tindi da di nang la xia nga dang de zga se na ri da ti ke ne xiang de zga ne ne xia nga ne da ne ji cha ba re sta ko yi nang ti xia da xia da lo da so.
And so then in each of the directions, the main directions of the center, north, east, west, and north, and east and yeah, or south and south. So they appear in each of the four directions at the becoming the five, and then the five nectars, and then in the intermediate directions, these syllables become the five meats.
Da tindi da di koran di nang yo wa che. Tene 다 양초 와덴디 롱크 되네 요레 sta 제탕가 좋텔라 다 단기 공부분들 다 향가도 생각 간디 이나다디 요르디 이나 양다 텔라 좋다 봐 장마서야 스테 장토 빠르좀 라고도 되네 다 갈스나 봐 장마서야 친질라와 mambopriya somyoles.
And so the wind from the flags or the banners, the wind stirs, causing the fire to blaze, and then the meats and nectars in the kapala, or bringing the kapala to a boil, and then they melt. The meats and nectars melt, and they go through the three stages of purifying, realizing, and increasing.
Tini da tanda chunga piya khayin labsang wata tini tini me barne tini tsama shu ne tsama mama shu ne tini ti shuwi kaabla tini ta karse gorji madabi ki tima tada tamji ta chilolpa thongba res.
And so the purifying happens by, through the blazing of the heat and the boiling of the substances, like the froth kind of overflows at the top and takes out any sort of impurities and are boiled over and separated from the rest of the nectar.
Da nectar korang da thama tila tini je mardeme ndoji da tigang yuwa lo chi res.
And then it becomes very, very vivid, very bright, and red. Mar? Marble?
Marble, marble.
Marble.
Tene ta tili yang ti lampa le tube namba sta ti media kung lampa wa steamed karsena tene ke namba le ti hungi kengo thort dembas.
So then, from the steam that's rising off of the contents of the Kapala, this forms a hung syllable, an inverted hung syllable, a hung that is upside down.
Maybe easy, I think, too many things, too many steps. Maybe just become like Khatamka.
Then it becomes a Kadvanga.
Khatamka makes the Khatamka. That is the Khatamka tela. Then Khatamka de Karsan Terwa. That them cho Hirugi kitine. Geta yap sonji rawa. Tienditine. That tike Hirugi kitine. That Tondam Chanchop Semji Ngovo. Dutsi. Tine, that Khatamka. Tikitse tine tama. Dutsi Nalma Sagiores. Junzabe.
And so then the Kadvanga represents the Yab Heruka or Chakrasamvara. And so it is also the essence of the ultimate bodhicitta, or the bodhicitta of the ultimate nature, the ultimate truth. And so from this Kadvanga, the nectar is kind of dripping down into the nectar from the tip of the Kadvanga.
Tiendita ti dutsi ma zadi ko dutsi nga zo jigdoba. Chanda wo inanda marita nga zo tirewo karsa. Tropa samark. So ti da nga zo tina intine ma hyumbi kabla ti gala ya. Nga zo manda wo jiglo na kari na jig. Ti gala teme ro ji mar gala. Soup gala manda wo lo bina da kari na da kata degrawa. Tindo chung samgres.
And so this essence, like the bodhicitta essence that's falling from the Kadvanga into the nectar, it sort of stays on, when it looks like when you put like butter in soup, or and then there's kind of like a sort of, it remains on the surface in little circles.
Tienditine da ti tangi koranketa. Mato ze tamse ki ze tetang, dutsi tang, tene ta yishi ki dutsi niboji ze sondi tene ko yerme wanda oji tene chabares.
And so that then becomes like the kind of the merging of the wisdom and the samaya nectar. So the samaya nectar is what's there in the Kapilarawa. Then the wisdom nectar is what comes from the Kadvanga.
Tang one dutsi chabare. Ta tangi hyanga da toso dutsi insamari. Tang one rear dutsi tene chabares tene dutsi tene. Ta dutsi karse goji dutsi kando karwa, rongarwa, rijasiwa. Ta karina kanda jik ni
Rongarwa, regja.
Regja gare. One ki dutsi jik.
Regja sawa.
Tene ta ti dutsi surabi da tene changchop sem ki jule jetoba. Oda tene ki dutsi chabares.
And so then this becomes then the real nectar. So it really it becomes blessed in this way, becoming like real consecrated nectar. This is how the consecration or the blessing of the nectar occurs. And then it becomes like sort of like a radiant white color. It's really sweet, or kind of endowed with all of the most sort of auspicious and delicious flavors. It is Rekja Sawa. Di dunda ganta yamba.
다 가서 차와 나오요나 시시고 나오용 그러와.
So it's very clear, very sort of radiant and vivid. And it is the nature of bodhicitta. So to taste it then causes bodhicitta to arise in the mind stream.
다 페이지에 다 대파던 로 손직 로다 되네. 쇼 only page 60 part. Page 60 page 차선지.
Okay,
Maybe
so
together, you ready?
so we can read this together, maybe beginning on the top of page 16, just to the bottom, right? Yeah. From the state of emptiness, Yam transforms into wind, Ram transforms into a mandala of fire. Above this, Om Ah Hung transform into a hearth of 3 human skulls. Upon this rests Ah, which transforms into a vast and spacious skull cup. Inside this, in the center and 4 directions, are Hung, Om, Kam, Tram, and Bam, Mam, Lam, Pam, Tam. These are transformed into the 5 nectars and 5 meats, marked by their respective seed syllables. The wind is stirred, the fire is kindled, the nectar is boiled. Through this, the seed syllables, together with the substances, melt. They are endowed with a color like the rising sun. From the vapor of the Katvanga is produced that resembles the color of mercury, facing downward. This also melts and is inseparably mixed into the elixir.
다 티슈글라 다 티인사리. 가서 mambo parwa 세야 티사리. mambo parwa 티 단들에서 시여도 어티니 되현에 주다 연에 된 리피팅스. 오다 티케 두체텔라 테네 다 제탄디 나나 팀에도 이난가 히텔라 부도 다단 고레 옴치 휴레 피지 테네 이 우르레타 양세 테네 차지 로레스.
Oh,
어쩌자 동보.
yeah, it came out. And so then it also like multiplies, it increases, it becomes really vast and extensive in its like measure. And then you visualize and recite the Sanskrit vowels and consonants, and those then completely transform and become Om Ah Hung, stacked on top of each other.
테네 공도 테네 다 티게 테네 테티도 옴 어쩌는 주주베네 비진 거처럼 또 테네 다옴 티게 테네 다 두치티 고지 남기 타당 양바 오다 테네지 봐 차바도 고지 총벌에스 당가서야 다 디제탄 테네 용도 두치게 테네 지나 디고지로야 다 두치기야 초바야 부야 대가나 예야 두치게 심지어 탐지라 가르고고요나 본도 탐지 중원으로 텐디치 테네 대가나 얘기 때문에 다 상지당 전혀 준비했기 때문에 구성토 중모부터다 탐지 야 이게 좀 남반 초 테네 총내야 도절 템번으로 다 텐디지 공부요서레스
So the yapo the tamche koma songkonda and the dutsi namka tha the omne dutsi namka tha dang nyambe chap
남가 딱 다이바 가와유나 남기 가르쳐 빌때 두스리 차버레스 테네 두스리 참네 테네 두스티게 테네 징 야단 줘봐부야 요르와 공부만 줘봐부야 테네 르도게 두스티게 강이시야 능이시야 테네지 타마데 테네 양 집구송 상지당 장적 선발하고는 다 조주기 때문에 지 상지당 장적 선배이기 때문에 구성도 진압 그다 담지 초 이게 좀 템 이게 좀 남아들어요.
Okay, the true one.
that's enough so 템만 오지.
So then, from the syllable Om, so that with the syllable Om, the nectar becomes like vast, like the filling the entire expanse of space. And so it then becomes, or from the yigi sumne utru, or om chikpo. So from the three syllables, the light rays stream forth, and they make offerings to all the exalted ones, like all of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the 10 directions, and gathers their blessings, which then dissolve back. And it also then emanates out again and accomplishes the purpose of all sentient beings, sort of clearing away all of their suffering and obscurations and providing them with whatever it is that is needed and desired. And then the light comes back and dissolves again. Tini Om Hung Dutsi La Shugiopa. And then the Om Hung syllables dissolve into the nectar, and the nectar then, is sort of infused with those blessings.
다 ngazo di chilhamde da chilhamde chikwachi chitang da tin da chi heju cheala ngazo da thandane kabala de chila ne ti hugla de ne torma ina torma la chila tegana yike ale tholo da thanda ka de chila ro ti hugla de ne torma chila re de ne tre ma song de ngazo torna ma chima cho chama chinjila chi trewa den chi.
And so this is actually a very similar process, like that it happens, it's in the case of the nectar, blessing the nectar, but also then the same goes when, so we'll see the same thing in the Chakrasamvara sadhana appear again and again, because it's the same process that happens when blessing the torma, when blessing the Tsok, when blessing the different types of tormas. There are a variety of different tormas, so those tormas are blessed in the same way, through the same process, the same visualization.
Okay, so then maybe read this one, page 70. Then we stop here.
So above this, a, I, u, re, le, e, o, ang, a, ka, cha, janya, ta, dadana, ta, dadana, papa, babama, yaralawa, shakatsa, kya, are completely transformed into Om Ah Hung, stacked one above the other. From these, the deities of the mandala emanate. Having acted for the benefit of sentient beings, the deities enter into union. By this, they dissolve into the three syllables. The three syllables and nectar of Samaya then become non-dual.
Okay. So right, so then yes, we take, let's see. So that terawa, that thing subject ma thong se gro da nga so this ching go zo bon do this thing that thing. Yes.
So this is just then to give like an introduction to this process, so you have like an overall understanding, and then we can finish here for now.
Okay. Right.
Like Om is at the top, and then Hung is at the bottom.
Yes. So now, I don't know which you using the Tsok. So we have the medicine Buddha in a text or no?
No, the long one, because we have then that has a Tsok. Probably not.
You said whether you give me Tsok, you enough text?
Chirang di nga lingya yomarawa then nga taptik to yomare.
Okay.
We could do Vajrayogini. I don't know how many we have, and I don't know where they are, but
Okay, that's okay. No worries. Okay. How many?
what did you prepare for, or did any what did like text? Okay.
That's okay. We didn't mention. Sorry, my fault. But so, how many texts? The old texts and the medicine Buddha texts. Nobody here text. So they have it in online, right? Yeah. Okay, so I think medicine Buddha is a little bit easier. I like medicine Buddha. So okay, so we can do little
wait.
bit.
Pema, how many copies did you make when you made copies? Okay.
Maybe we have two here, no?
I think up in our apartment I can go get.
Okay.
But you
No,
know,
no, no, what do you
Drupon and Kimbo can do it in Tibetan too, and we can just recite mantra.
mean? Right, that's good.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Okay. So I'm gonna
Okay, good idea. First we
have
do.
two. You have two.
Okay, so now we look the short medicine Buddha.
Linga shimba ditso linga yung drogo gurbe.
The law the short medicine Buddha called.
Okay.
Oh, good. Now it's Udina is a really good idea. So with Tibet is good. So where's the short?
It's on page 2 of the booklet. So the winter teaching booklet, page 2.
Okay, so go for English.
Namo, to the medicine Buddha, embodiment of the three roots, I and others go for refuge and generate the mind of awakening, so that all wandering beings who have been my mothers may attain Buddhahood. I will practice the yoga of the medicine Buddha. Namo, to the medicine Buddha, embodiment of the three roots, I and others go for refuge and generate the mind of awakening, so that all wandering beings who have been my mothers may attain Buddhahood. I will practice the yoga of the medicine Buddha.
Namo tso gun de san je men je la da so jang je jang jo sam je do ma jo do ge san je do be che men la ne jo nyam se len ba je.
Through the unfabricated, non-conceptual display of compassion, magical emanations that are the appearances of awareness arise as a lion throne with a lotus and moon cushion. Above that is my own mind in the form of a deep blue Hong syllable. By sending out and reabsorbing light rays, I become the enlightened form of the medicine Buddha. Cobalt blue and in Sambhogakaya form, complete with all the ornaments. My left hand holds an alms bowl filled with medicine, and my right is in the earth-subduing mudra, holding between the thumb and ring finger a sprig from the all-curing medicinal aurora plant with leafy foliage and fruits. Covered in silk and jeweled necklaces, I am resplendent like a fish leaping from water. At the heart level inside the Avaduti, at the center of an 8-petaled chitta lotus, is my consciousness, the samadhi being, in the form of a hung, endowed with the 5 wisdoms and engulfed in its own light rays. Around it circles the mantra, radiating light which makes offerings to the victorious ones, then clears away the 404 types of illness afflicting sentient beings and vanquishes the ailing pains of heat and cold. While generating love for wandering beings, recite the mantra.
Monday back to page 2. Do de me me nyen je zo na don ri be chun de le sen ge zhe dan bian de den rang sen wu den chun de le da ni jun de me le ge den ga long ge je na zo cha yon long ze men gan na ye be san long long tu sin je nam jar men de long da ji tar doi je ni to jar je che lai nya den do wo se nyen gar a wa de di no a zhe da ben ma da ji wu na xie ding de se ba gong ye ye ngan de rong wu jie de da rang an jing we gor wan du jiang ran ju zhe gu jie xie jia zai yi ni nam jiang dan ni jie sun ge jiang do la zi ngan di da dia da wan be gan zhe ma be gan zhe ran zhe song mong ga de so hua dia da Manga de so wa dia da on be kan de ma be kan de ran o la be kan de ma be kan de ran da so manga de so wa dia da on be kan de a be kan de ran da so manga de so wa dia da on be kan de ma be kan de ran da so manga de so wa on be kan de ma be kan de ran da so manga de so wa dia da on be kan kan a be kan de ran da so manga de so wa dia da on be kan kan a be kan de ran da so manga de so wa dia da on be kan kan a be kan de ran da so manga de so wa dia da on be kan ma be ran da so manga de so wa dia da on be kan ma be kan de ran da so manga de so wa dia da on be kan ma be kan de ran da so manga de so wa dia da kan ma be kan ran da so manga de so wa dia da on be kan a be kan ran da so manga de so wa dia da on be kan a be kan ran da so manga de so wa dia da on be kan ma be kan ran da so manga de so wa dia da on be kan ma be kan de啊，穷光光啊，工资穷了着急啊，才别干这个啊。没得，我们不爱看这边。看这嘛。 chu ye ge som je da ba long yu me ba ra chu ze ge ye long ga ye ge song la bo te le wu chu be chu che song je song chang jo song da dam ge long ti ve ken la de ze tu ba so ni je yu ma da ba ra chen je lo Yige zong la tian yin de be ka chu yige zong jie ba wu de ju bi de su su song dong ji ba yong su jun ba de ti jiang zu qian bu ro zhu ma wu ru zhong ma wu ru ma wu jie da wu me gan zi be gan zi ma be gan zi long da de jian zhou da de ma ma long jie gu gu ye zu xie mi de zi jiang zu qian bu yan ga na da de long zhu zong me yin yin de wu dang mu ro da de ga da yong me yong ru gu da bi yi ji nin de ye me na ma de ji jiang zu jian bu yan ga na da de long zhu ji jian de wang dang mu ro da de ye zu wa ji jian me yu hong mi ji ye ne ji jie la za za ju la wang dang me na ma de ji me yan ga na da de long zhu zhong me ji jian de wang dang mu ro da de de ni song ju da de hong dang me ke ru ge do yang de gong bo de ji jiang zu jian bu yan ga na da de ne wang dang mu ro da de gong jian zhe guo dang de dang dong me duo xian nian zhe nian nian ba de yan na ma de ji jiang zu jian bu yan ga na da de long xie ne wang dang mu ro da de zuo ga yu gu da na de ne tong zhe ne yan song ri jie ga mu qie ye la ga na da de long jun jun gu ji xie ne wang dang mu ro da de zuo chu ju nan ba yang mi yin ge ne xiang long la song zhi guan gu jie la ni le de ji jiang zuo jian bu yan ga na da de long zhu jun gu yan xie ne wang dang mu ro da de zuo yang mian jie zhong jie ji jian bu de jian na chu ji jiang zuo jie wa yi jie zuo jian gu lo wang mi jian ba da de wei yi wei dao dong gong yin bu yin jian dang dang jian bu dang gong de song bu qiu bin xian zha dang dang du dang gong ca dang ne se song du me la so gu de nu nu dan nang bo nang a rin jian sen de jian mian song dang bu qi yin du dang dang xia ta ru bin nang de nang ba nu tong yin le ba gong dang gu ba dang ba lin xia da jian de du xian jie chang long lao so chi ji du dang wang jiu ren mu zhou tang ba dun de zo da jia ma ri tu yi wang jiu de gu song du dang da wa yin na tan cai niao jian tu song ma jia lin lin zhe lo fa jiu wa jin jie ba zan zhe jian lu ma zu ma dang 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 ma la ma ma tian xun yang zuo jin min ha lan yan zhong jin li wa dang jie de lo zhan zhe zhong dang jin ge wa zu da fang jie zhong ge ho ya jian dian zhu jie jian ne so bu de ji hong dian wei dian du bie za dong yang ran nian bo men na no wa dang ren nu xie ji you ba de wa dang ga jin yu dian qian la zhong wa dang hong yin pen sen mu lo jian jie li jie nian bo men nam le yin yang hong sang wang jie da da song de wei hong la le ji jie jiang na zhong bi min de yang bian zhu wa jin jie明天某个马头那个说光最近龙巴大地今天我没上当我接了我心呀说不来接了我都找到看的没啊就应该的人就领给没啊就是说我当我大爷给我今天把他这个心上往起过动，老公上心让 chen chen ba gong tong me che su ji bi tu de tong ra zu ne dang ba lin la so dong long chu ba ra chen ma ra song ji chang long tu ge cho gang ju ba gong ko de yang su so ba ra ji ne a ge wa ju chu gun je wa dong song dong chu xin lu ba ran de de so wan de za ra so so mu ya ma de ba ya ma de sa ne ma de na ma ma ba de 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 so ge Organ was on the Jeremy, and so was on the moment on the does all the nobody done in the middle, so the middle was what you made on the show up and so on the other moment, and then Mama, somewhere else. Oh my God, I'm not so bad on money. Yes, Oma Agar, Oma Sarva, and Mane, Adeni, Renado, Oma, Humbe, so Oma Agar, Oma Sarva, and Man, Oma Agar, Oma Sarva, and Mane, and Adoma, Beso, Dereke, Chula, Son, to get on Yarambo, to Tayo, Ado, Deji, Jumbo, Jorve ligu chuji choradu barji jan tang tang yang kondo chenle nang jen heng je toba zu ma je rang jen dang de chuan yen bo dang de bo da re je sang je du dang Cho ye me ma de we de teng de me song dang mo ji yin du dang kang nam ga dong ba wang je ro bo dang ne chang long ti ji cho je du dang 大家理解这位这个，说话的当时安则什么个的说话的啊，他我别看着别看着嘛别看着，安则什么个的说话，so we please help the talk. You can help the talk so we quickly. Di dan de do me ba wa su do ka yo me ba wa su bo ka yo me ba wa ana ra do me ba wa sarva se de me ba yan do sarva karma su da me se de ke yang gu ro hong ha wo bang ga se wa da dan ga da ma dar ma me me da me dar ba wa ma sa ma ya sa do a won ben dar sa do sa ma ya ma ne ba la ya ba dar sa do di no ba di dan de do me ba wa su do ka yo me ba wa su bo ka yo me ba ana ra do me ba wa sarva se de me ba yan do sarva karma su da me se de shen yang gu ru hong ha wo bang ga wa sarva da dan ga da ma dar ma me me da ben dar Bandar Sado Samaya Manu Balaya Bandar Sado Dinomba Didan Dedo Mebawa Sudo Kayo Mebawa Sobo Kayo Meba Rodo Mebawa Sawa Sidi Meba Yanza Sawa Karma Suda Me Teden Hiyam Guru Ha Ha O Banga Sarvada Danga Damandar Mamemanda Bandar Bawa Ma Samaya Sado Bandar Sado Samaya Manu Balaya Bandar Sado Dino Didan Dido Mebawa Sudo Kayo Mebawa Subo Kayo Mebawa Anurado Mebawa Sarva Sidi Mebarayanda Sarva Karma Suda Me Zede Hiyam ho banga wen sarva da dang ga da ma dar ma me me do ben dar ba wa ma sa ma ya sa do on ben dar sa do sa ma ya ma ne ba la ya ben dar sa do de no di dan de do me ba wa su do ka yo me ba wa su bo ka yo me ba wa an ra do me ba wa sarva se de me ba yan za sarva karma sa da me de de hin yang gur O Bhagavan Sarvadada Gadama Dharma Meme Dambendra Bhavama Samaya Sadho Om Bendra Sadho Samaya Mane Balaya Bendra Sadho Dinomba Didanda Me Sudo Kayo Me Bhava Subo Kayo Me Bhava Anurado Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Bhayanza Sarva Karma Siddha Me Siddhi Hiya Guru Hum Aha O Bhagavan Savadadanga Dhamma Dharma Meme Dham Bendra Bhava Ma Samaya Sadho Om Bendra Sadho Samaya Mani Balaya Bendra Sadho Dina Umba Didan Dido Meba Kayo Me Bhava Sava Kayo Me Bhava Narado Me Bhava Sava Siddhi Me Pariyada Sava Karma Siddha Me Tede Kiyam Guru O Bhagavan Sarvadada Gadama Dharma Meme Dhamendra Bhava Ma Samaya Sadho Om Bendra Sadho Samaya Mani Balaya Darsado Dinamba Didandado Me Bhava Sadho Kayo Me Bhava Sadho Kayo Me Bhava Anurado Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Pariyanta Sarva Karma Siddha Me Tede Kiyam Guru O Bhagavan Savadada Gadama Dharma Meme Dambendra Bhava Ma Samaya Sadho Om Bendra Sadho Samaya Mani Bala Dasado Dinomba Didandado Me Bhava Sadho Kayo Me Bhava Sadho Kayo Me Bhava Anurado Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Pariyanta Sarva Karma Siddha Me Tede Kiyam Guru O Bhagavan Sarvadada Gadama Dharma Meme Dambendra Bhava Ma Samaya Sadho Om Bendra Sadho Samaya Mani Bala Dinoba Didandado Me Bhava Sadho Kayo Me Bhava Sadho Kayo Me Bhava Narado Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Pariyanta Sarva Karma Siddha Me Tede Kiyam Guru O Bhagavan Sarvadada Gadama Dharma Meme Dambendra Bhava Ma Samaya Sadho Om Bendra Sadho Samaya Mani Bendra Sadho Dinoba Didandado Me Bhava Sadho Kayo Me Bhava Sadho Kayo Me Bhava Anurado Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Pariyanta Sarva Karma Siddha Me Tede O Bhagavan Sarvadada Gadama Dharma Meme Dambendra Bhava Ma Samaya Sadho Om Bendra Sadho Samaya Mani Bendra Sadho Dinoba Didandado Me Bhava Sadho Kayo Me Bhava Sadho Kayo Me Bhava Anurado Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Pariyanta Sarva Karma Siddha Siddhi Shaya Guru Bhagavan Sarvadada Gadama Dharma Meme Dambendra Bhava Ma Samaya Sadho Om Bendra Sadho Samaya Mani Balaya Bendra Sadho Dinoba Didandado Me Bhava Kayo Me Bhava Sava Kayo Me Bhava Narado Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Pariyanta Sarva Karma Siddha Me Tede Kiyam Guru Bhagavan Sarvadada Bendra Bendra Bhava Ma Samaya Sadho Bendra Sadho Samaya Mani Balaya Bendra Sadho Dinoba Didandado Me Bhava Sadho Kayo Me Bhava Sava Kayo Me Narado Me Bhava Sava Karma Siddha Me Samaya Mani Balaya Bendra Sadho Dinoba Didandado Me Bhava Sadho Kayo Me Bhava Sava Kayo Me Narada Me Bhava Sava Siddhi Me Pariyanta Sarva Karma Siddha Me Tede Kiyam Guru Bhagavan Sarvadada Gadama Aho Bangavan Sarvada Dangadam Bandarma Mendan Bender Bava Ma Samaya Sadu Alalaho. Alalaho. Okay, you are ready to music?
The song is maybe about not understanding, being between samsara and nirvana and calling for the guru.
So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil? Do you think you can tell? Did they get you to trade your heroes for ghosts, hot ashes for trees, hot ashes for cool breeze, cold comfort for change? And did you exchange a walk-on part in the war for a lead role in the cage?
Everybody knows this part.
How I wish you were here. We're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl, year after year, running over the same old ground. What have we found? The same old fears. Wish you were here.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
James, did you have a song? Okay. Anybody else like to play a song? Yeah. Is there anybody on Zoom that would like to read a poem or sing a song? We can turn the volume on in the shrine room. Yeah.
Not a question. I just want to say that my Mexican lama said that how do we know when the sadhana is working? It's because of the joy we feel. And I might not be a great meditator, but I'm super happy. I'm feeling super happy. Thank you so much for the blessings and your teachings.
Thank you. Okay. So now, are more songs or no? If not, then we.
And I just want to say your prayer that you've written was very special. Yes, your prayer that you've written was very special and actually brought tears to my eyes when I was at home reading it over and over again. So it's nice to have something from your heart, your thought, your words. So we're very lucky to have this. So thank you. Thank you.
James, sing a song, please. Milarepa song. Milarepa.
This is written by Shantarakshita. It's called a Vajra Song from the Ocean, and I think it is in accord with what we've been being taught. Torjay is very entertained by what I'm not sure. I'm trying to focus here. Got all this food in my mouth now. While nothing ever moves, from equality's expanse, appearances shine in a wondrous magic show. So many rivers flow into the mighty sea, where all their different waters have the same salty taste. Though many they may be, they all taste the same. In this there is no differentiation, and everything there is all all throughout existence. All have the telling flavor of the natural state. How wonderful this is wonderful indeed. What happiness this is happiness indeed.
Thank you. Okay, so now maybe collect the remainder.
This is the time to do it. The dirty joke session is now. Give him the mic.
Ralph, it is your turn to speak into the mic.
I'm okay. I'm good to go. I'm eating. When I'm done eating, then I'll do something.
Well, then everybody has to say a little something to Drupon.
Thank you. Okay.
Muchas gracias.
Can you hear us in the shrine room now online?
This beautiful song, except I'm too terrified of hurricanes, but thank you.
We have the temple now, so. Steve?
May you all have endless happiness.
El Dorje.
I am always sleeping.
He is always sleeping. He's always working.
If Drupon or Kempo have a favorite Milarepa song they would request, then I'd be happy to sing it.
I say so.
Okay, she said something.
Thank you, gracias, merci. How do you say tashidele? No tashidele, but thank you in Tibetan? Tutishe.
Damien, you said a lot, but. Yeah. He's good, yeah. He said it.
Okay, I'll tell a story. I'll tell a story about Drupon. A good story. So there was a time, I think it was 2006, and Drupon was at TMC in Frederick, Maryland, and it was, well, I should go 2 days earlier. Seriously, it's going to sound funny, but this is how it happened. I live in Virginia, and I had just lost my job in a horrific way. And I was sitting on the floor in my kitchen crying because I thought my life was completely destroyed. I couldn't get another job. I had just bought my house. I put every penny into my house. I had no money in the bank. I had no idea where my mortgage was going to come from. I actually had friends and neighbors bringing me groceries. And I was completely devastated. And I was so out of my mind, I left my front door open, not even realizing the door was open. And one of my redneck neighbors came in and he saw me on the floor crying. And he said, "What's the matter?" And I said, "I just lost my job." "Yeah, but what's the matter?" "Well, that's it. I just lost my job. I don't know how I'm going to survive." "Oh, I thought somebody died. Just get another job." And I said, "Well, I just can't get another job." And then he looked at me and he said, "Don't you have some kind of guru or something like that?" He didn't say something, but I said, "Yeah." "Well, ain't they supposed to fix things like that for you?" And I went, "Well, yeah." He said, "Well, why don't you get up your butt and get on over to your guru?" So I went in the bedroom, threw some clothes in a pillowcase, threw it in my car, and drove up to Maryland. And the weather was horrible. It was raining and windy and just god awful. And I went to Kempo Tseltram and I told him my problem. And he gave me one analogy after another. And I said, "You don't really understand." And then I went to, I think it was Kempo Chappelle, and I told him my pity party story. And he gave me all these possibilities and they didn't work. And then I went to Drupon and I said, I told him my problem. And Drupon said, "Let's work on the stupa." And I said, "It's raining and windy. And it's a terrible day to work on the stupa." And he had Lance and me and all these people come out with electric cords and ladders and lights. And Drupon is standing inside the stupa, I don't know, putting tsatsas or something. And you remember in the TMC stupa up in Maryland. And my job was to carry the buckets of concrete up the ladder and hand them to Drupon as he was doing something in the stupa. And I could not really feel sorry for myself because if I had slipped off this rainy ladder or dropped the bucket, so I had to pay complete attention to what I was doing every step of the way. And I was completely drenched. Everybody was from the rain. And after a while, we went in, and I was just so tired. And Drupon said to me, and it didn't make sense at the time, but he said to me, he said, "Don't worry. Tomorrow's a new day, and your whole life will turn around." And I don't know if you knew what you were saying or it's just the words that came to your mouth or whatever. And I slept really well and left the next day. And at 6 in the morning or so, 7 in the morning maybe, David called me up and he said, "I want to train you in buying books and being a book buyer. And fly to Indianapolis and I'm going to train you in this new business. And you're going to be so happy that the university dropped you because all the teachers you know from the university and all the universities are going to be your customers. So this is like the very next step, the most logical transition you could possibly make in your life to do this." And that happened the very next day, so.
Very good, pretty good.
So we have somebody on the computer.
Okay, we can do a lap over. No. Oh my God, Magum Sarva Dharmane, Adenivana Doda, Oma Hum Besoha, Oh my God, Magum Sarva Dharmane, Adenivana Doda. Oma Hum Besoha, Oh my God, Magum Sarva Dharmane, Adenivana Doda, Oma Hum Besoha, Dereke Choson, Shalom, Tibeto. Ponyam bom do do bo ten yo da ga do de jian jung bo la me da Malun Kur Chedre Lama Loy Chorvele Kun Chuje Charanzu Parachi Jentang Taye Ma Bondo Tenle Nam Ye Lun Je Chuba Zu Ma Wore Ma Wore Okay. Okay. So Lance, you can speak. I think we have the volume up, see if it works. Lance, can you hear me?
Lance, you can
Lance,
speak
you
now.
can speak.
Great. Can you all hear me? This is Lance talking to you from Baltimore, Maryland. Can you all hear me? Maybe you can't hear me. Hello?
Lance, they can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, great. All right, well, thank you. I want to, I have a song, but I don't have my guitar handy, so I'll have to recite it as a poem. But I also wanted to comment on what Pema had said, and I remember that time very well. I have many photographs of that time when we were working on the stupa. And I have a short story to tell myself. After the in 2004, we went on a pilgrimage to India with Drupon, and it was magnificent. And Nadoon was there, and it was just 13 of us from TMC. It was really great. And after we came back, it was wonderful. My feet didn't touch the ground for months on end. But during the summertime, I was home, and I was at that time I was working, and there were times when I would come and I would have a cocktail and sit on my back porch during the summertime, and I had a couple of cocktails.
So we can do the dedication prayers. We'll do the long dedication prayers in the prayer book.
Oh, nobody can hear me. All right.
I don't know what wrong, Lance. They were supposed to make it so you could be heard in the shrine room.
Beginning on page
All right, no
17.
problem. Thank
Sorry.
you. That's all right. Thank you for trying.
17. For this realm encircled by snow-covered mountains, you are the source of every benefit and bliss without exception. Tenzin Gyatso, you who are one with Avalokiteshvara, may you remain steadfast until samsara's end. Embodiment of the three precious jewels, Padmapani, who holds the teachings of the victorious one, seeing the all-goodness meaning with the wisdom eye, may you who are spontaneously established activities live long for hundreds of kalpas. Noble Manjushri, the Lord of Speech, who manifests to hold the teachings of the Triple Gem, who raises the lamp of the sage's teachings, may you who are the light of the Dharma live long for hundreds of kalpas. By the merit I have accumulated, may I overcome all erroneous attitudes and reach the omniscient state. May all sentient beings who are suffering in the waves of birth, old age, illness, and death be freed from the ocean of samsara. May the enlightened intent of glorious lamas be brought to completion. May there be joy and happiness equal to the expanse of the sky. And may myself and all others without exception be swiftly established in the state of Buddhahood through gathering the accumulations and purifying obscurations. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind. Where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. May the teachings, the sole source of benefit and happiness, endure throughout time, and may the lifespans of all those who are holders of the teachings remain steadfast as victory banners. I pray that the Lama may have good health. I pray that the Lama may have long life. I pray that your Dharma activities spread far and wide. I pray that I may not be separated from you. May the world have happiness and favorable years. May all harvests be bountiful, and may the Dharma increase, accomplishing all happiness and goodness. May all objectives be accomplished. May sentient beings who are ill, however many there are, be swiftly freed from their ills. At all times, may beings never experience sickness of any kind. To the west is the pure realm of Amitabha. May all who apprehend his name be reborn in that supreme realm. By the strength of this powerful merit, may benefactors, together with the whole assembly, accomplish the intended purpose of this life. May obstacles be pacified. May all be auspicious. May they accomplish their intentions in accord with the Dharma. Following the wisdom of Manjushri, the fearless one, and similarly Samantabhadra, following them all and practicing in the same way, I too dedicate all merits accordingly. By the blessing of the Buddha who has attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the truth of the unchanging Dharma as such, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the merit I share bear fruit. By the power of the truth of the three jewels and the blessings of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, through the authority of the total perfection of the two accumulations, through the force of the utterly pure basic space of phenomena beyond concept, may it be accomplished precisely so. By the virtues collected in the three times, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtue, may I and all beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teachings of the great Drupon Ratna Shri, who is omniscient, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara. Through the accomplishment of whatever virtues that indicate the unmistaken path that accords with the utterly pure teachings of enlightened intent, may the teachings of the precious 10th Bhumi Lord of Drupon flourish and endure throughout time.
Okay, thank you, everyone. So, really, is the thank you, everybody. So, also I said, Dharma is very important, but as well as so who practice, so we have not many like Sangha members, so but we have the Sangha members. You guys really appreciate, so sometimes work very hard. You guys have to work, and you have to donate money, and you have to like volunteers, and then also you have like memberships, you have pay, and like all sorts of things. You guys, this really sacrifice for the dharmas. So I understand. I deeply, thank you. So also we are really that kind of collection merit. So we lose merit, but you guys doing, so I understand. So sometimes I said, everything you guys okay buy the Dharma shop, you have to buy. And you just kind of also we are building fine, so we said sometimes I just kind of board directors, I sort of I don't want to say, you know, but we have to need money. So I sort of like forceful, okay, you donate this much, you know. So you guys said yes. So that's I appreciate, you know. So that's why we finish. Otherwise, you know, who knows? We have no money then. So that's everything I think you are doing. So that's really appreciate. So no complete finish. And also here, I said you are really sincerely practicing, really work. So that's great, you know. So, and also your conditions, cause of conditions together. Pretty good. Like for example, you know, on the Virginia, he, you know, the translate. So this translator is not easy, you know. So one time I was in Pittsburgh, and a Tibetan woman. So he is really extremely smart. So he's perfect, looks like perfect English, and perfect Hindi, and perfect Chinese. So I got surprised, oh, this amazing, you know.
A Tibetan woman.
Tibetan woman. So, so that time, I said, okay, yeah, I think you're really good, you know. So they also, he has really sincerely Dharma, kind of interesting. He has help. So I said, okay, we're teaching the Dharma, you know. So, oh, good, okay, I don't know English, so but that's okay. You have shop, and people come. But we talk the Dharma. He cannot say one word. So not familiar, you know, Dharma. So this, yeah, of course he knows the Tibet, you know, he's Tibetan. So those are, you know, not easy. So he knows the Dharma. And sometimes I forget, maybe he can correct me.
Sometimes.
So, but so anyway, so everything is really good for, you know, Dharmatic activities here. And also at the same time, you know, so Kembo, he's knowledgeable, and not only knowledgeable, actually, I say, oh, he's good, but really is that even though the monasteries, there's hundreds, thousands of monks, you know, but really difficult to find like him, education. So, but some reason, I don't know, maybe your Westerners, maybe good karma, so just coming west, leaving the monastery behind, you know. So actually this too, so this actually here, one hand, I thinking these Westerners made good karma. I don't know, some reason. So most really good like lamas, teachers in the West, like basically like not, so mostly like really very rare in the India. So I say India, there are a lot of monastery in Tibet, there are a lot of monks, but I think top, you know, scholars, practitioners in the West, I don't know, some reason. So that is actually, I don't know, maybe Dharma flourishing West, maybe future, but like a kind of the authentic or qualified teachers in the West mostly, you know. So Likabet actually in Chanchop Lane, holiness, you know, monastery, every monastery Likabet responded, you know. So we have like good education teachers. So they not stay in the monastery. So they love the West. So anyway, so that's it. But anyway, so we are, I think, take time, but maybe future, you know, so maybe kind of flourishing, you know, so
So the Buddha Dharma might really flourish in the West.
So again, so I think really you are doing everything. I really appreciate and sincerely authentic. So I appreciate. Thank you.
So in your prayer, Rinpoche, in the musings of a practitioner, you say, in benefiting others, may I no sacrifice. And you've shown that in all your actions, from the very beginning, in sacrificing your safety in Tibet by practicing Dharma in secret, and then by traveling over the Himalayan mountains on foot, escaping the Cultural Revolution, and then in sacrificing your time and being diligent in practice at the monastery, and then going into retreat and sacrificing yourself for the benefit of others through retreat, and then finally in sacrificing your you could have probably been a king in India or Tibet or Nepal, but you decided to come to the West and teach here in Florida, out of all the places. And you sacrificed a lot to get this building up and to now to be teaching us. And so thank you very much for continuing to do that. And we pray that you will continue to teach us forever and forever. So thank you so much, Rinpoche. So we thank you with offerings from the center, from Jongnor Changchabling to Drupon Rinpoche to Khenpo Yeshe to Virginia, and to all the monastics that are here. And we also would like to make an offering to Zoldi Para, who has been working diligently to make this available to the Spanish-speaking Sangha. So thank you, Zoldi, to you for showing up every single day of the retreat and for translating and being there. So we would like to thank you very much. And thank everyone here for showing up. And also, I would like to, again, really ask you all to come next week to the long life ceremony for Drupon Rinpoche, which is going to be on Sunday from 2 to 4. And we will have a nice Gutuk celebration afterwards for Losar. But please, if you can be here for the long life ceremony, that would be wonderful. So thank you so much. What's that? 2 to 4 on Sunday, and of course we'll have a picnic on Saturday from 1 to 5 as well, a picnic. So yeah, so thank you so much. Please make offerings if you'd like.
Yeah, Tsok we have to complete. So. Thank you. My table is made. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's
So if I may, everybody, just say one more thing. I think it's just to say thank you to Virginia, who I think, one thing that I'd like to, no, I want to say this, okay? Okay.
Thank you, we love you.
Love you, Virginia. It's impossible to know the Dharma without your mind.
Yes.
Okay? So thank you.
It's going to Nadine house. She has like 3 stories.
No idea. Did you tell us the last that I heard, but maybe change?
Well, where'd you get those stickers from? That was a good idea. That's where they came from. Billy said for your size. Oh, I put your size. Well, you have to have stickers. How are you gonna fold it? Cookies. They're all yours. Oh, yeah. They gotta go. Yep. If you don't have those cookies. Tibetan English with certain phrases, and especially their colloquialism. When he was over the house one time, I had said something, and I had said, holy moly. Holy moly, and I said, well, I hope he uses that again. It just came out so cute. Yes, your life, like everybody's life. Maybe I should step out of the way and let somebody else. Well, he's not a retired government employee, so. So he's young.
to watch football?
Something else will come back. They didn't eat anyhow. Do you want me to let everyone know?
I think everybody. Snack for the football game.
You could wrap the lunch up and everything. I wish. Hey.
I got my son-in-law thing. And the son-in-law
I'm saying, you know.
I have a sympathy to the guy there. Oh, geez, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, they'll be going for that. What's that? Energy level up and all that. Okay, here's a vegetable. Here's a vegetable one. Don't polish, you know, she doesn't listen. 51 years, that's why we're still married. I said, these things don't seal. These things don't seal. It's gotta be something they can seal.
One key left, oh my goodness.
No. We need snacks for some bowl. Yeah, why not? I like to go football, and I'm not crazy over it. I'm mostly a college fan. This just got out.
Yeah, we know you love the Gators.
Speaking Gators.
You love them.
It's good. Don't waste any time. Okay. Then.
I know.
Okay, just confirm it. How do we get the food out? No wonder the food, that's why the food's still in there. Right? Well, I'm sterile.
Well, here's what I would do. There's a simple way off with.
Oh, yeah, useless. I'm sterile, so I feel pretty safe, you know, grabbing it.
Here's Jackson. I didn't call mine. You know, I'm a good girl. Did you bring any for your critter? Nothing here to like kill it. Probably eat everything. Maybe like cheese. Yeah, cheese is good. Oh, stop.
I know. Grab bags, we got bags. We got